Hi, my dear students. Myself, Anush Shashidharan, Academic Director and Biology Faculty of Rankings Entrance Training Academy. I welcome you all in this video lesson. Today, I am going to talk about the topic Biotechnology Principles and Processes Part 3. As you know, in the last session, we have discussed different steps or different basic steps involved in the process of recombinant DNA technology. As you know, we have discussed the first two steps, isolation of genomic DNA and fragmentation of DNA by using restriction endonuclease enzyme. Today, we are going to discuss third and fourth step, that is the separation and isolation of DNA fragments by using a process called gel electrophoresis. And fourth one, the amplification of gene of interest by using PCR. Okay, first of all, gel electrophoresis. Gel electrophoresis is a technique commonly using for the isolation of desired gene. Okay, that means first of all we have to separate all these DNA fragments and we have to isolate one among them. That is the desired DNA fragments. Okay, the process first of all introduced by a scientist named A. Tiselius in 1937. Now we are going to learn in detail the process of gel electrophoresis. I said the gel electrophoresis technique we are using for the separation and isolation of desired DNA fragments. Okay, so in this process we are doing the negatively charged DNA fragments are forced to move through the anodes under electric field. It means the electric field is applied to the gel electrophoresis matrix. This is actually a matrix. Okay, here we are actually applying the electric field. Okay, the negatively charged DNA fragments are forced to move towards the anode through this matrix. Okay, under an electric field. What is the meaning of matrix over here? One of the most commonly used matrix is called agarose gel. Okay, one of the most commonly used substance for the matrix is agarose gel. Agarose gel is actually a natural polymer extracted from seaweeds. Okay, in this step, what we are doing, first of all, we have to loaded all these DNA fragments in the wells to be separated. Afterwards, if we are applying electric field, what happened? The negatively charged DNA molecules are actually moving through this matrix. Okay, because of the sieving effect of this agarose gel, what happened? The fragments are actually separated according to their size. Okay, that means the largest DNA fragments are actually settled down at the base and the smallest fragments are settled at the top. That means smaller the fragments move faster than the larger one. Is it clear? As a result of gel electrophoresis, the DNA molecules are separated, okay, according to their size. Is it clear? The largest DNA fragments are settled down at the bottom, that means nearer to the wells, and the smallest DNA fragments are settled at the top. Okay, these separated DNA fragments can be visualized only after staining with a dye. Okay, this is called ethidium bromide. Okay, after staining with the ethidium bromide, it's again followed by exposure to UV radiations. Okay, as a result, these DNA fragments are actually visible as bright orange colored bands. Okay, now you can see the bright colored DNA fragments have already been separated. You just remember all these DNA fragments we got as a result of the action of restriction endonuclease enzyme. Now we have already been separated all these DNA fragments by using the technique gel electrophoresis. Okay, finally, we have to identify the desired gene. As per the example, you know, which one is the desired gene? The gene responsible for the production of insulin. Okay, after finding out the desired gene, these bands are actually cut from the agarose gel and extracted from the gel piece. The process is called a elution. Is it clear? These DNA fragments are purified and used in constructing recombinant DNA. This is the most important step for the separation and isolation of desired DNA fragments or desired gene. Okay. Next one, we are going to discuss the most important thing, the most important process. It is called a polymerase chain reaction. So what is polymerase chain reaction? You know, polymerase chain reaction is an in vitro technique. Okay, it's actually a scientific technique to generate billions of copies of a particular DNA sequence in a short time. You just imagine what is the need of this process. As a result of gel electrophoresis, actually we got a desired DNA. I said, as per the example, the DNA or the gene responsible for the production of insulin. Okay, dear children, sometimes this DNA may not have proper quality. Is it clear? Sometimes it may not have proper quantity. At that time, we are using the technique named polymerase chain reaction for the amplification of desired gene. I said this is actually an in vitro technique. By using this scientific technique, we can generate billions of copies of desired gene if it have very poor quality or if it have very poor quantity. Okay, the polymerase chain reaction developed by a famous scientist. His name is Kary Mullis in 1983. Now we are going to discuss the detailed aspect of polymerase chain reaction. Okay, this is the diagrammatic representation of polymerase chain reaction. Look, this is actually a double-stranded DNA. Okay, it's actually having two polynucleotide strands we have discussed, which are having opposite polarity. One strand having 5'3' polarity and other strand having 3'5' polarity. This is the desired gene we have to amplify. Okay, first of all, we are going to talk about which are the most important conditions necessary for polymerase chain reaction. I mean, the polymerase chain reaction occur in three different steps. First one is called denaturation of double-stranded DNA template. Look, this is the double-stranded DNA template. We have to amplify. Second process is called annealing of primers. And third one is the extension of double-stranded DNA molecule. So we are going to learn in detail. Look, dear children, this is the double-stranded DNA or double-stranded gene we have it to amplify. The first step I said, denaturation. What is denaturation? Denaturation means the unwinding of DNA and the double-stranded DNA should be converted into two single-stranded DNA. Is it clear? First one we have seen, this is the double-stranded DNA. As a result of denaturation, what happened? that double-stranded DNA should be converted into two single-stranded DNA. Look, the entire process of polymerase chain reaction controlled by various temperature. Totally, it's a temperature controlling system. Okay, if we are actually using 95 degrees Celsius to 96 degrees Celsius, what will occur? The denaturation will occur. Is it clear? Dear children, denaturation means the unwinding of double-stranded DNA and the conversion of double-stranded DNA into two single-stranded DNA. This is called denaturation, occur in which temperature? 94 to 96 degrees Celsius. Second process is called annealing. Look, annealing of primers. So for learning annealing, we have to discuss what is the meaning of a primer. You know, primers are chemically synthesized oligonucleotide fragments. Is it clear? Or artificially synthesized oligonucleotide fragments. It is called the primers. What is the meaning of annealing? The primers are attached to the 3' end of the template or the 3' end of the DNA fragment to be amplified. Look, this is the 3' end of this DNA fragment. Dear children, look, this one, this is the 3' end of second DNA fragment. The small red colored region actually represents the primers. I said primers are artificially synthesized DNA fragments or artificially synthesized polynucleotide fragments. What is the meaning of annealing? The primers are attached to the 3' end of DNA fragment to be amplified. In this context, these two strands of DNA molecule we can collectively call it templates. Okay, dear children, the process of annealing occur in a temperature like 40 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. That is a suitable temperature for annealing. Is it clear? If they are getting suitable condition, what will occur? The third step will occur. What is the third step? Extension of double-stranded DNA molecule. That means, dear children, listen all of you, these primers, what happened? They should extend with the help of nucleotides present in the system. So clear, the process of extension occur because of the presence of one of the most important enzyme called DNA polymerase. The concept you will learn in higher classes or in +2 class itself under the topic of molecular biology. You will learn DNA extension means DNA replication. At that time, you will see the DNA replication or the extension process will be controlled by one of the most important enzyme called DNA polymerase. Okay, in case of PCR or polymerase chain reaction, we are using an important DNA polymerase called Taq polymerase. Okay, this is actually a thermostable polymerase enzyme. Why? Because the Taq polymerase we have obtained from one of the most important thermostable bacterium called Thermus aquaticus. Do you know why we have extracted the DNA polymerase from a thermostable bacterium? It means such type of bacterium can be able to survive in high temperature. You just think about it, children, all these phenomenon, I mean that the denaturation, annealing, extension, etc. occur in different temperature. Okay, so we have to use the DNA polymerase which have a capacity to survive in high temperature. That's why we have extracted Taq polymerase from a bacterium named Thermus aquaticus, commonly using in case of polymerase chain reaction. Because of the presence of Taq polymerase, what happened? The extension of primer will be occur because the deoxynucleotides are actually present in the system. As a result, the primers are actually extended based on the complementarity of template strands. As a result of finishing one complete cycle, I mean the extension actually occur in a temperature 72 degrees Celsius. As a result, we will get two double-stranded DNA. You just imagine, student, we have started from a single double-stranded DNA. As a result to the first cycle, what happened? That should be converted into two double-stranded DNA, which are same as that of the first one. Okay. After finishing billions of cycle, what happened? We will get billions of DNA or G. And this DNA we can utilizing for ligating with the vectors for the construction of recombinant DNA. These are the two most important steps, the gel electrophoresis and the polymerase chain reaction. I hope you have understood all the concepts thoroughly. You have to go through this video again and again for understanding the concepts. Thank you.